Scientists gave healthy volunteers top-rated probiotic supplements every day, then looked directly inside their guts. The bacteria were there, but they weren't doing what anyone expected. I'm Annabelle Cross. Welcome to MedHeads. You might be spending $50 a month on probiotics. The labels promise better digestion, stronger immunity, a healthier gut. So here's the question we're going to answer. What does the science actually say you're getting? The global probiotic market is worth over $60 billion a year, and the theory behind them is genuinely sound. Your gut is home to trillions of microbes, bacteria, fungi, viruses, and a healthy, diverse community of them is linked to digestion, immune function, even mood. Probiotics are live bacteria in a bottle, meant to reinforce that community. Logical idea. The problem is what actually happens after you swallow them. For a probiotic to do anything useful, the bacteria have to survive your stomach acid, which has a pH of around 2, about as corrosive as vinegar. Then they need to reach the colon and actually take hold. That process is called colonisation. The bacteria set up a stable presence and start influencing their environment. Here's the uncomfortable finding from that 2018 Cell study. Researchers gave healthy volunteers a standard 11-strain probiotic, then used endoscopies to look directly at the gut lining, not just stool samples, the actual tissue. In most people, the probiotic bacteria passed straight through. They didn't colonise. The gut already had a well-established community that resisted the newcomers. The researchers called it colonisation resistance, your own microbiome acting as a bouncer. Responses were highly individual, but for most healthy adults, the probiotic never really moved in. But here's where it gets stranger. The same research group published a second paper the same week, again in Cell. After a course of antibiotics, when the gut's own population is wiped out, you'd expect probiotics to colonise easily. And they did. But there was a catch. People who took probiotics after antibiotics took significantly longer to return to their own normal microbiome than people who just waited it out. The probiotic bacteria moved in, and then got in the way of the person's native bacteria bouncing back. So the one scenario where most people instinctively reach for probiotics after antibiotics might be the one scenario where they're actually slowing down your recovery. That said, the picture isn't all bad. There are specific situations where specific probiotic strains have solid evidence behind them. A 2012 meta-analysis in JAMA analysed 63 randomised trials. Particular strains, especially Lactobacillus rhamnosus GG and Saccharomyces boulardii, meaningfully reduced the risk of antibiotic-associated diarrhea. Not the ordinary gut disruption you'd expect from antibiotics, but the severe kind. The evidence there is real. Probiotics also have reasonable support for certain types of IBS, particularly the diarrhea-dominant type, and for reducing the risk of Clostridioides difficile infection in high-risk hospital patients. The key phrase is, specific strains, specific conditions. A targeted probiotic for a defined purpose is a very different thing from a generic wellness capsule. So, probiotics aren't fake. But for most healthy people taking a general-purpose supplement, the evidence suggests the bacteria are largely passing through rather than transforming your gut. If you have IBS, a C. diff risk, or you're on antibiotics and genuinely worried about diarrhea, it's worth talking to a doctor about whether a specific strain makes sense for your situation. For everyone else, the most evidence-backed route to a healthier gut microbiome is less exciting. More fibre, more variety in vegetables, and more fermented foods. Yogurt, kefir, kimchi, sauerkraut. These do appear to influence the gut in ways the research supports. And none of that costs $50 a month. Are you taking probiotics right now? And have you ever noticed a genuine difference? Tell me in the comments, I genuinely want to know. And if you want more evidence-first health videos like this one, subscribe to MedHeads. More coming every week.